Okay, Mayor, I am seeing 3 o'clock for our media availability press conference today with Mayor Collins. For those of you who don't know, I'm Michael Skinner, the city's public information officer. So here we meet again today for our update with Mayor Collins. He will begin today with comments and updates from his side of things, and then we will open it up to any questions that you all may have. Again, following protocol from yesterday, I will record this session and then email it all back out to you so you have everything in its entirety. And with that, please keep your audio muted until you have a question to ask. And with that, Mayor, the floor is yours.
Michael, thank you so much. And again, I appreciate everyone for being here today so that we can update you on what's going on. There's a lot of questions out there in the community about what our progress is, and I just wanted to share that with you today. First thing I'd like to say is we received notice today that the governor has declared an emergency declaration for the state of Wyoming. Today at about 2 o'clock, the county commissioners also declared an emergency for Laramie County, which includes all 3 of the small towns of Auburn, Burns, and Pine Bluffs, and the city of Cheyenne. I think there's a couple thresholds that we're going to have to meet. The state has to show at least $1 million worth of expenses or damages. Laramie County is going to have to show $357,000 worth of expenses or damages. And then we're going to need the president to also sign a corresponding declaration. So hopefully all that will come through, and we'll get a little help with some of the expenses that we've incurred with this snow event. I just want to remind everybody the first 48 hours that we had Sunday and Monday, most of our efforts were to help our public safety partners in responding to emergencies, our fire, police, and our ambulance services. We had to take loaders out and help them get to their calls. And so once that was done, supposedly yesterday, we really started getting after our city streets. Today we have, I think it's 26 front-end loaders that we've been able to hire from the private sector to get out into our city streets. Fact is, they're right out in front of my house right now. I can hear the beeping, and I appreciate seeing that happen. I believe today we should have completed all of Western Hills, and those crews are starting to work on the western side or the eastern side of the interstate. We should have completed the Eastern Business Park for Leeds. Crews should be at the point in Monterey Heights today. Crews should be mostly done south of I-20 or I-80 in the south side of Cheyenne, and they're going to move north around the downtown area, not included in the DDA district. We have crews in the 19th and Logan area. Our hopes is that we will have every street in Cheyenne, every residential street, at least a path cleared through them in the next 48 hours. Last night, we started cleaning up downtown. We were able to get the area around the Capitol, 25th, 24th Street, maybe down a little bit of 23rd Street. And then early this morning, we were able to get Lincoln Way opened up. The challenge downtown is that we have to haul the snow away. There's no place to put it downtown. So crews have to move the snow to the middle of the road, create like a windrow, and then we have a rotary that picks that snowblower that picks that up and puts it in the back of a dump truck. Yesterday, it was obvious this is going to be painfully slow. That rotary would get 15 or 20 feet and it would completely fill a dump truck. We hired a bunch of extra dump trucks yesterday. I think we had 10 or 11 dump trucks. So the rotary was never waiting for a dump truck, but it was just painfully slow. Typically, we move from east to west with our city crews, and then north and south in the 2 o'clock in the morning city crew. Tonight, we're going to move, all of our city crews are going to move east and west. So we'll be working on 17th and 18th Street, trying to get the city downtown business section opened up. And we've hired a private contractor to do all the north and south streets. So we're doubling our efforts there to try to get the downtown opened as soon as possible. One thing I'd like to say is thank you to Cheyenne Frontier Days. They're going to open up their east lot. I think it's lot C, so that we won't have to haul snow as far. However, we may have a challenge in July. We may have to go out there and knock down some of those hills and try to get them melted before the show. So we really appreciate CFD stepping up and letting us do that. As many of you know, my big concern running for office was our budget, and this event is not going to help that. we're spending more than $50,000 a day just in residential streets with those 26 loaders and, and other assets trying to get our residential streets open. And that doesn't include downtown. With our overtime expenses for firefighters, police, and public works, this is going to be a real expensive event for us. I don't think we have a choice. We are going to we're going to continue to do this until we've responded. I think that's what you have emergency reserves for, and we're definitely going to be using those. However, I do hope the president will make that declaration and we might get a little bit of that money back. I just want to tell you again that sanitation will not be picking up this week, but we will start again on Monday in our regular routes, and we'll do the best we can to pick up trash. Next week, if you need to have extra trash, you can put 4 bags out up to 40 pounds each. Make sure they're bagged carefully, and we'll pick those up. Or if you'd like to take them by the transfer station, we'll take those 4 bags up to 40 pounds free of charge. Again, our transit department is not running this week either. Not safe for the buses to be out there, but they will start again on the regular routes Monday the 22nd. So if you're a client and you need a ride, you should be able to call in on Monday. I would tell you a little bit about an interesting story I got from our police department. Some of the officers are carrying snowshoes so they can walk in to make their calls. Pretty much the ingenuity of our public servants here in Laramie County. The fire department said we appreciate that people want to get out. We're restless after being home, but they're going to ask you to limit your trips as much as possible. We're finding that as our fire trucks need to go out and make calls, same thing with our police department and ambulances, the roads are so narrow, they're having a very difficult time getting through. So they're just asking you, if you would, to limit your trips as much as you can so that our public safety folks can make their necessary emergency trips. We are again today transporting dialysis patients. Yesterday we did quite a few of them, and today and tomorrow we're going to again help. They have some critical patients that absolutely need to get in and can't get there. So our Public Works Department is partnering with the County Public Works, AMR, the ambulance service, our transit department, emergency management. All of those folks are working together to try to get these patients into dialysis because there's not a lot of time. They've got to get in there on a regular basis. And so we'll be doing that again today and tomorrow. I can tell you our firefighters, a lot of them were in the houses for about 72 hours. We finally gotten crews in to replace them, and those folks have been able to go home to get some much needed rest. It's nice to be able to get a normal rotation in for our police department, fire department, and all of our employees. Last time I'd say to you is we've gotten a lot of calls, or I've gotten a lot of calls and emails about alleyways. Apparently there's some alleys being plowed in the city, but I want to assure you the city does not plow alleys except when we need to use them for our sanitation department. But there are a lot of homeowners associations and private individuals who have hired companies to come plow their alleys. So I can just assure you that's not the city doing that. Those are private individuals, and we'll do our best to keep that information out there for you. So if you want your alleys plowed, I'm sorry, we're probably not going to do that unless we pick your trash up in your alley. I guess just to tell you again, we'll have those 26 contractors out tomorrow. We'll get as many of those roads done as we can and hope to be done by before the weekend. And tonight we'll be downtown. So if you have a car downtown, please get them off the street so our crews can be successful in getting the snow moved and getting those roads back open. Again, another shout out to emergency management. Janine and her crew have been great for us. To all of our employees and public servants and all the volunteers who've been helping, we really appreciate all of your efforts. It's made a hell of a difference, and it's much appreciated and noticed. And with that, I'll stand for any questions if anybody has anything.
Mayor, how has previous budget cuts affected the city's response to this? I mean, how many actual snow plows does the city have? Did some of those have to get cut in previous budget cuts? How have previous cuts affected how the city's responded to this snowstorm?
Reese, I think it hasn't affected us in the fact that we just don't have as many bodies in our public works, in our parks department, in order to be able to respond. So they're doing the best they can. And in the meantime, we've also hired some outside contractors to try to fill in and help the best that we can. But it has definitely had an effect on us. We haven't been able to use our snow plows. As I said yesterday, the snow was just too heavy to start with. So we've taken the plows off and we're using those to haul snow downtown. And then once we get downtown cleaned up, we'll put those snow plows back on and start to try to widen the roads as best we can.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions? Well, we just tell the media, I really appreciate your trying to help us get this word out, so people in the community know that we're definitely coming to their neighborhoods. We'll do the best we can. I know that plowing an 8-foot path down the middle of the road is not perfect, but with the size of the snowstorm and the resources we have, it's the best we can do at this time. And we'll do our best to get there as soon as we can. And I do appreciate your helping out with that today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And I believe that concludes our press conference for today. Thank you all.